Good morning, students. In the last lecture of the operating system, we will discuss about the scheduling concept. Scheduling is the process of or the process scheduling is the activity of process manager that handles the removal of the running process from the CPU and selection of another process on the basis of particular strategy. The process scheduling is an essential part of a multi-programming operating system. Such operating systems allow more than one process to be loaded into the executable memory at a time. And a loaded process shares the CPU using time multiplexing. The operating system maintains different process scheduling queues that are job queue, ready queue and device queue. The job queue. This queue keeps all the processes in the system. In the ready queue, this queue keeps the set of processes residing in a main memory, ready and waiting to execute. And a new process is always put in this queue. Next, device queues. The processes which are blocked due to unavailability of any input-output constitute this queue. These are the concepts related with the scheduling process we are learned in the last lecture. Now, in this lecture, we will start our next point as a schedulers. A process migrates between the various scheduling queues throughout its lifetime. We know the different scheduling queues available in the operating system, that are job queue, ready queue and device queues. The operating system must select for the scheduling purpose processes from these queues in some fashion. For the execution of that particular process, the operating system selects the particular process from these queues. And the selection process is carried out by the appropriate scheduler. And the selection of this process, all the processes present in the operating system is carried out by the scheduler. Means, throughout the lifetime of a process, it migrates or it travels to the various scheduling queues. For example, job queue, ready queue and device queue. An operating system should select processes for scheduling purposes from these queues in some manner or in some style. The selection process is always done by the scheduler. In the operating system, there is an scheduler. The scheduler selects a process for the execution. The scheduler selects the processes that are present in a particular queue. The scheduler takes a process from that queues for the processing. In a batch system, there can be many processes which can be executed immediately. In batch system, if processes are more than one, then they are spooled to a mass storage, that is secondary storage devices like disk, in which they are kept for the later execution. The scheduler which picks up job from this pool and loads into the main memory for the execution is called as long-term scheduler or job scheduler. There are different types of schedulers present in operating system. that are long-term scheduler, that is also called as job scheduler. Next, short-term scheduler, which is also called as CPU scheduler. And next one is the medium-term scheduler. These are the three types of schedulers present in the operating system. In short, schedulers are the special system software which handles processes scheduling in various ways. The main task is to select the job to be submitted into the system and to decide which process to run. There are three types of schedulers present in the operating system, that are long-term scheduler, which is also called as job scheduler. Next, short-term scheduler, which is also called as CPU scheduler, and last one is the medium-term scheduler. These are the three types of schedulers present in the operating system. Let's see these types one by one. First, we will see long-term scheduler. Okay, see this figure. First, we will discuss about the long-term scheduler. What is an exactly long-term scheduler is? The long-term scheduler's frequency is less than a short-term one because it takes time in minutes for the long-term scheduler to collect all the processes and load into them main memory. The long-term scheduler's frequency is less as compared to the short-term scheduler because it takes the more time for the loading processes to the main memory. For example, it takes a time in a minutes for loading a process into a memory. So it is called as a long-term scheduler because it requires long period for the loading the different processes into memory. So it is long-term scheduler. Due to long-term schedulers, speed is very less as compared to short-term scheduler. The main aspect of long-term scheduler is that it controls the degree of multiprogramming. The main feature, the main aspect provided by the long-term scheduler is that it controls the degree of multiprogramming. The degree of multiprogramming indicates the number of processes in the memory. If the degree of multiprogramming is constant, then the average rate of process creation should be equal to the average departure rate of process leaving the system. There is one advantage of long-term scheduler, that due to big interval between the different processes execution, these schedulers gets sufficient time to decide which process should be selected for the execution. There is one important advantage of the long-term scheduler is that the long-term scheduler get the more time for deciding which process to be executed next, to be executed after the current process execution is completed, because it having the big interval between the number of processes execution. See this figure. In this figure, here is an long-term scheduler. In the long-term scheduler, the process is taken from the job pool. Then that process is put into the ready queue for the execution. And while the CPU is free, while the CPU is idle, at that time the process is taken from the ready queue and then execution of the process is done. This is an long-term scheduler. In the long-term scheduler, first the process is selected from the job pool. The job pool is the area in the operating system where all the processes in the computers are stored. Job pool is an one area in which all the new processes are stored. The long-term scheduler picks up the process from the job pool. That process is stored into the ready queue, and after CPU is free, that process is selected from the ready queue according to the priority, and that process execution is done. This is an long-term scheduler. In short, it is also called as a job scheduler. The long-term scheduler is also called as job scheduler. A long-term scheduler determines which programs are admitted to the system for the processing. Long-term scheduler decides what are the different programs, what are the different processes are admitted to the operating system. It selects the processes from the queue and loads them into the main memory for the execution. The long-term scheduler picks up or selects the processes from the job pool, and that processes are stored into the computer's main memory for the execution. In the long-term scheduler, processes loads into the memory for CPU scheduling. The primary objective of the job scheduler, that is long-term scheduler, is to provide a balanced mix of jobs such as IO bound and processor bound. It also controls the degree of multiprogramming. If the degree of multiprogramming is stable, then the average rate of the process creation must be equal to the average rate of departure rate of the processes that are leaving the system. The long-term scheduler control over the degree of multiprogramming. If the degree of multiprogramming is stable, is constant, then the average rate of the process creation, means creating a new process, and average rate of departure, means average rate of execution of process, is equal. Then the multiprogramming degree of multiprogramming is stable. In some operating system, the long-term scheduler may not be available, or it may be minimal. The time-sharing operating systems have no long-term scheduler. When a process changes the state from the new to ready, then there is use of long-term scheduler. The Windows and Unix operating system does not have a long-term scheduler, as in these operating systems, as soon as processes are created, they are automatically transferred to the ready queue. The Windows and Unix operating system does not contain a long-term scheduler. This is an long-term scheduler. In short, in the long-term scheduler, the process is selected from the job pool, and then that process is stored into the ready queue for the execution, and after CPU gets free, then that process is assigned to the CPU for the execution. Next is an short-term schedulers. Short-term means the short-term schedulers selects a process very less time, maybe in few milliseconds before waiting for an input-output request. The short-term scheduler generally executes at least once every 100 milliseconds. Due to the short time between the executions, the short-term schedulers are fast. See this figure? In this figure, short-term scheduler is occurred here. Here is an short-term scheduler. The short-term scheduler is also called as CPU scheduler. In the short-term scheduler, the CPU selects the process directly from the ready queue and the process will be executed in the operating system. It is required very less time as compared to long-term scheduler. We know that for the long-term scheduler, we require a time in minutes. A few minutes are required for execution of different processes in the operating system. But in the short-term scheduler, the process execution is very fast because the time required for the short-term schedulers in a very less. It is in milliseconds because the process directly taken from the ready queue for the execution. All the processes stored in the ready queue, the scheduler selects the process according to the priority for the execution. The process is taken into the CPU directly from the ready queue. So it is very fast. In short, it is also called as CPU scheduler. The short-term scheduler is also called as CPU scheduler. Its main objective is to increase system performance in accordance with the chosen set of criteria. The short-term scheduler's main objective is to increase the performance of the system. It is the change of ready state to running state of the process. It simply the ready process is going to the execution. Means here the process changes the ready state to running state. The process state changes only from ready to running state. As compared to the long-term scheduler, the process changes from new to ready and then running. But in short-term scheduler, the ready process is directly going to the execution. So here process changes the ready state to the running state. But in the long-term scheduler, new to ready and then after running. The CPU scheduler or the short-term scheduler selects a process among the processes that are ready to execute and allocates the CPU to one of them. The short-term scheduler selects a particular process from the ready queue to the execution. The short-term schedulers, also known as dispatchers, makes the decision of which process to execute next. And short-term schedulers are faster than the long-term schedulers. Let's see what is the difference between the long-term and short-term scheduler. The short-term scheduler selects a process from the ready queue and assigns it to the CPU, and it operates more frequency than the long-term scheduler. While the long-term scheduler transfers a process into ready queue and hence it occurs less frequency. This is an main difference between the long-term scheduler and short-term scheduler. Then next type of the scheduler is the medium-term scheduler or the medium-term scheduling. Now we will see what is an exactly medium-term scheduling. In some time-sharing system, an additional scheduling level may get added. This is called as medium-term scheduler. This level is nothing but medium-term scheduler. The main purpose of medium term scheduler is that it removes the process from the main memory and again reloads afterwards when it is required. And this process is called as swapping. The medium term scheduling is a part of swapping where it removes the process from the memory and again reloads afterwards whenever it is required. The swapping is one memory management technique. The process could be swapped in a memory and swapped out from the memory as per the requirement and availability of the memory. This is helpful to improve the performance of the system and it also maintains a degree of multiprogramming of the operating system. In some time-sharing operating systems uses the medium-term scheduling. In the medium-term scheduling, the swapping concept is used. In the swapping concept, the scheduler removes a particular process from the memory and again reloads afterwards whenever that process is required. This is the process of swapping. And in the swapping, there are two concepts. First one is the swap in and another one is the swap out. Swap in means what? The process is loaded into the computer's main memory and swap out is what? The process is removed from the CPU and afterwards again that process is swapped into the computer's memory. The swapping is one of the memory management technique in which the process is swapped in or swapped out. Swapped in means the process is loaded into the computer memory, the process is stored into the computer memory, and swap out means what? The process is taken out, process is swapped out from the computer's memory. Swap in means process storing and swap out means process removal. See this figure. In this figure, the medium term scheduling is shown. The processes are stored into the ready queue. The ready queue contains the number of processes that are ready for the execution. That processes are ready for the execution using the CPU. The CPU selects one of the process for the execution. According to the priority, the ready queue processes are transferred to the CPU for the processing. If the processing is successfully completed, then that process is completed. But whenever or in some situation, the process while execution, the process requires some input-output device, some I/O for the execution, then that process is swapped out from the memory and go to the I/O queue. After fulfillment of that particular input-output device, the process is again swapped in to the ready queue. There is another one condition. Suppose the CPU takes one of the process for the execution, and while the execution, any interrupt may occur. By occurring that interrupt, that process, the some part of process, in this situation, some part of the process is completed, but some part of processing is remaining. Then in that condition, that partially executed process swap out from the memory and again afterwards, after fulfillment of any condition, that process again swap into the ready queue. This is an medium term scheduling. In short, The medium-term scheduling is a part of swapping. It removes the processes from the memory and it reduces the degree of multiprogramming. The medium-term schedulers is in charge of handling swapped out processes. A running process may become suspended if it makes an I/O request. A suspended process cannot make any progress towards completion. In this situation, to remove the process from the memory and make a space for another process, then the suspended process is moved to the secondary storage, and this process is called as swapping. And the process is said to be swapped out or rolled out. Swapping may be necessary to improve the process mix. This is an medium-term scheduling. The medium-term scheduling mainly uses the concept of swapping. Swapping is one of the memory management technique. In the swapping process, there are two terminologies. First one is the swap in, means process is loaded into the computer's memory. The process is stored or the process is loaded to the main memory. And another terminology is that swap out. Swap out means what? Process is removed from the computer's memory. Process is take out from the computer memory and afterwards it again reloads when it is required. In the medium-term scheduling, the processes are selected from the ready queue for the execution. Suppose in the ready queue there are n number of processes. The scheduler selects one of the process for the execution. If the execution is successfully completed, then that process will end. But there are some conditions because of that condition the process may be swap out. Suppose while one of the process is executing in the CPU, while the execution, if the process is partially executed, means some of the part of that process completion is remaining, in that situation the process is swap out, process is rolled out, process is take out from the CPU, and again afterwards that process is swap in, again that process is stored into the main memory, that is ready queue. There is another one condition. While execution of any process, if the process is required some input output device for the execution, then that process is swapped out from the memory, and after fulfillment of that particular input output device, that process is again swapped in, means process is again stored into the memory. And the main objective of the medium-term scheduler is that it provides the service to maintain the multiprogramming degree of the operating system. In short, the role of medium-term scheduler is that sometimes when a process is waiting for CPU assignment and a process of higher priority arises, then the process in the ready queue is swapped out in a backing storage and the higher priority process is swapped in and is assigned to CPU immediately. Suppose in the situation that in the CPU one of the process is running, one of the process execution is taking over in the CPU, but in that situation one of the higher priority process coming into the ready queue, then that running process is suspended, that running process is swapped out from the CPU and the new higher priority process gets access to the CPU. This is an medium term scheduling. The difference between the long term scheduler, short term scheduler and medium term scheduler is shown here. See this difference? Okay, thank you.